Hey, howdy, hey, awesome people of the internet. Wolfman47 Dash here, and welcome to another Let's Talk About Insert Name Here Verse vlog. So, for those of you who have not seen any of these verse vlogs before, this is when I sort of delve into the filmography or whatever, or career or whatever of certain filmmakers, actors, directors, studios, and all that stuff. And today I'm going to be talking about a man called Kristoffer Borgli, who is a Norwegian film director and screenwriter, and the films I'm going to be talking about today are all from his filmography. So there's 3 films we're going to talk about. Unfortunately, there was going to be a 4th one as well, which would have been his directorial debut called Drib, which is meant to be this sort of mock documentary about a fake product, which got me sold straight away, I'll admit. So excuse me, but unfortunately I was not able to find it anywhere on streaming or on home media, although I probably could have saved money to get it on home media, but I didn't have time, so I decided, sod it, we've got 3 films already, so let's talk about those 3 films. Some bit of background. He grew up in Norway, in a small suburb outside of Oslo, where skateboarding and making videos dominated his youth. At the age of 16, he worked at a video store for about 3 to 4 years, which sparked his interest in cinema and inspired him to pursue filmmaking, and the rest is history. So let's get to it. So first up is the film that I did have to watch in preparation for this video, and obviously when I do these vlogs, these sort of reviews sort of at the weekend, it's usually when there's a newly released film that's coming out. But anyway, so first up we have Sick of Myself, and I'm not sick of myself, I am sick of... No, won't go there. So this is a 2022 absurdist black comedy film, starring some people I don't really recognise the names of, and I don't want to butcher them. It's about a couple, Signe and Thomas, who live together in Oslo, where one of them works as a barista while the other is an artist who specialises in sculptures made out of stone and furniture. Signe is jealous of the increased attention that Thomas gets and attempts to plot ways to divert from him. So a bit of a kind of sort of battle between things and so forth. And if you're used to these sort of twisted black comedies, you know that things don't quite go the way that you think they might go. Yeah, this is so for me anyway, this is a foreign language film. So I had to watch it with subtitles, because I have been taught by the legend that is Klankzoka that it's best to watch things in their native language. But I do also think Miyazaki is correct in saying that you should watch things in your own language if you can. So yeah, kind of like a sort of, they're both correct, but also at the same time I just want to do my own thing. So yeah. To be honest, I did watch this sort of being incredibly tired because of this ear infection that I had at the time, and I'm hoping that I don't have it by the time this video does get uploaded. But anyway, so I was sleeping quite a lot through it, and also got interrupted by one of my friends who likes to call me a lot, but it's okay. I kind of understood what was going on with it. Didn't really need to have audio on or whatever to understand what was going on. But I thought it was interesting. Had an interesting sorry, trying to get a burp out. An interesting name to it, Sick of Myself. I think some of us can relate to that for sure. It was okay. I couldn't remember it that well because I was just so tired through it and everything. And I probably will give it another shot if I choose to, and then leave a proper review in the description below or on Letterboxd. But for now, I'm going to give Sick of Myself a 7 out of 10. So next we move on to Dream Scenario. So this was a film that was released in 2023. It's a surreal satirical comedy drama, starring Nicolas Cage as a mild-mannered university professor whose life is thrown into turmoil when people begin telling him that he keeps appearing in their dreams. As well as him, Julianne Nicholson, Michael Cera, Tim Meadows, Giluya, I've been pronouncing that right, and Dylan Baker also star, and it's produced by Ari Aster, Lars Gunnarsson, Nicolas Cage himself, Jacob Jifke, and Tyler Campilune. And this was one of several films that I've seen that's been distributed by A24. Now, when I saw this at the cinema, one thing that did sort of flow into my mind, and I'm glad that the film did acknowledge this at some point, that this is basically a Nightmare on Elm Street. The only difference here, while I'll fix my dog tags there, the only difference here is that it's not Freddy Krueger, it's Nicolas Cage as a mild-mannered university professor who just appears, and initially doesn't help the students, but then over time it's sort of revealed that he's actually killing them. But then it's implied that he doesn't really know what's going on and everything, and all sorts of weird, crazy things happen. And I remember there was a scene where the future happened, and some technology allowed people to promote products through dreams. So I guess you could say this is kind of a very art house version of Nightmare on Elm Street, if you're very familiar with that franchise, albeit just without Freddy Krueger, but still very much the same kind of basic concept of a man appearing in your dreams and killing you in your dreams. I thought it was very good. I don't think it's Nicolas Cage's best film, but I can certainly say it's definitely one that that was very thought-provoking, because as I said, it did make me think about Nightmare on Elm Street for a while, and I'm glad that the film did sort of acknowledge that that they did have that similarity, to the point where when there was a scene where he was promoting his book, Nicolas Cage's character that is, that it sort of implied that he was trying to look like Freddy Krueger while he was doing it. So yeah, but anyway, so Dream Scenario, I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10. Which brings us on to Kristoffer Borgli's, or whatever his name is, latest film, which is simply called The Drama. Well, probably one of the most generic titles in the world, but, sometimes the more generic the title is, the more interested people go and see it, and I certainly was interested when I found out about this. So this is a film that stars Zendaya and Robert Pattinson as a happily engaged couple whose relationship is tested by an unexpected revelation during the week before the wedding, which I will not spoil for you because although it has been out for a little while now, by the time you'll have seen this video, because at the time of recording this one, my YouTube channel's got a strike and I can't upload things for a week at the moment. It's been out for a little while, and it's very much sort of falls into a series of films I've been seeing recently where Robert Pattinson is portrayed as this big, handsome, romantic interest, and to be fair, he's quite a handsome-looking guy anyway. And he's sort of being attached to these equally attractive women as well. So it's not really that surprising that this is another film like that. And from the get-go, you probably think that this is just your typical rom-com and everything's fine, all that. But no, there's actually much more to it, especially when they get around to the revelation, because then things start to take a turn for the worse and everything. I like how it's edited. I like how it's trying to portray things that everything is fine, but it's actually not fine. I also like that even though it does have some sex scenes in this, it's not heavily focused on it, unlike a lot of rom-coms I've seen where the sex scenes just go on forever. It's just like a few snippets and move on, because otherwise I'm sure Tom Holland will be very upset with what person for obvious reasons. It was good. Really enjoyed it. Thought it was very interesting and very, very twisted in places and so forth, and also it has a sort of very nice, very sweet kind of ending, trying to sort of bring things full circle and trying to sort of see if there's a way forward for them and everything, which I'm hoping is not giving away too much of a spoiler. But yeah, so overall, I am going to give The Drama, I think, probably the best rating out of the three films I'm talking about this time, which is a 9 out of 10. And that, for the time being, concludes the universe of Kristoffer Borgli, or Borgli, whatever. who I hope we do get to see more films of. He is an interesting up and coming filmmaker. Although it does say here that he did admit to having a relationship with a 16-year-old girl. Oh dear. Anyway. And he is also set to direct and executive produce a series adaptation of The Shards by Bret Easton Ellis from HBO. Don't know what that is. So yeah, but anyway, that's it for this vlog. Short and sweet, because 3 films, not much to say about them really. Although I did have a lot to say anyway. Do that as you will. But yeah, sound off in the comments below. Let me know what you think, if you've seen them, what you like, what you don't like, and also what other sort of verse Let's Talk videos you want me to talk about. And just to make things easy, I'm only focusing on directors, actors, mini sort of small studios from in otherwise large studios, because if I do a Let's Talk About verse one on like a very big studio, like for example Disney, it would be one of the longest vlogs I've ever done, and it would take way too long, so just bear that in mind. Okay, so yeah, but anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you can, please. If you're new to the channel, I do vlogs like these usually on a Thursday on completely random topics, but over the weekend I usually do reviews like these when a new thing has come out recently, and just all the films that have come before it, depending on if I feel like talking about them as well. And on Monday and Tuesdays I do gameplay videos as part of a series of videos for a long game I'm playing through, and I'm alternating between 4 different games at the moment. Every Wednesday I do a Let's Play of a completely random game. Guests are welcome for all those things. And I also do hauls, rants on live, videos with friends, gameplay compilation videos where I bought a game bundle, and loads more. See you in the next one. Peace to you all. And as always, remember to give these smaller films a chance, because even though they may be overshadowed by the big major blockbuster films, these films are, I can assure you, are films that people will talk about more than big blockbusters, and also films that people will remember more over the big blockbusters. So do bear that in mind. So yeah, alright. Toodles.
Don't be so dramatic.